Humans are attachment based as a rule. We don't do very well on our own, unfortunately. And that means having healthy relationships is critical to our ability to not only succeed in our day to day lives, but to truly thrive. Many of us, unfortunately, experience painful relationships growing up that teach our mind and our body that some humans are dangerous. In fact, some individuals who experience severe childhood trauma have a part of their brain called the periaqueductal gray that actually learns to interpret all humans as being scary or fear inducing. Now, the good news is we do have wonderful healing techniques that help with that type of work, such as the havening techniques, as well as internal family systems and other modalities. And for the purposes of our conversation today, I want to introduce some opportunities for how we can start to change the way we understand those moments when our brain and our body send up yellow flags of fear in a moment of human connection. You see, we are hardwired for connection. It is inevitable and it is necessary. Even if we live on our own, there will come a time where we interact with somebody in one way or another. We simply are that way by nature. So, how do we create healthy relationships, especially if we've been taught that humans can be dangerous? It's not as hard as it sounds, although I do recognize that it is a big ask. See, our amygdala, as we know, a little friend Amy back here, is designed to keep us safe. That is her number one and only job. And if we've been hurt by other humans, then she will send out warning signs if she perceives a threat. One of the things that's really interesting about our amygdala is that it encodes sensory experiences along with thoughts and feelings and body sensations in a moment of threat or trauma. So she'll remember tiny nuances, even the color of a shirt that somebody was wearing when we were hurt, or the feel of a hand on us, even the color of somebody's eyes, or the tone of voice in a moment of a tense or difficult conversation, if it's a difficult enough conversation for her to send up a warning flag that we might be in danger. Having this information at our disposal is really, really important to help us start to create space when we get triggered, when we start to feel like our brain and our body are moving outside of our control. So I'd like to invite you to think back to a couple different interactions you've had in the previous weeks with humans. Humans that you like, humans you feel neutral about, or humans that you maybe don't even like. And reflect on what were the nuances of those conversations. Ideally, pick 3 and grab a pen and a paper to do this exercise with, because we know journaling really helps deepen our self-awareness. There's a ton of science on that, which is really cool. And if you can, find one interaction with somebody that you really like that went really well. Find an interaction with somebody that you feel kind of neutral about, don't really care about, that also went really well. And now see if you can find an interaction with somebody that you really care about that went really poorly. I'm actually going to add one more onto this exercise. Now find somebody, an interaction that you had with somebody that didn't go exactly as you would have liked, or maybe you're even still thinking about. So we have 4 interactions. Somebody you like that went really well. Somebody neutral that went fine. Somebody that you really like that didn't go very well. And somebody that you're not that keen on that did not go well. And as you're noticing those relationships now, notice the details of what was happening in your mind and your body in each relationship. As you're reflecting back on those interactions, how do you know that this is an experience that went well? What's pinging in your brain? Additionally, how do you know this is a person that you like for that first one, as well as the third one? For the interaction that went really well, but the person, you can kind of give or take, how do you know that went really well? And what's different in your mind and your body as you notice that that's somebody that you're not that invested in. And finally, for the person that you don't like so much and the interaction that really didn't go very well or just didn't go great, how do you know, A, that you don't really like that person, that there's something off about who they are energetically or their beingness in your world? And how do you know that situation didn't go so well? Now, cross compare these experiences. What are the patterns that are the same? What are the patterns that are different in each one? Are there links between the situations that went well and links between those that didn't? What's the difference between the person that you really like and how that difficult situation was versus somebody you didn't really like and how that difficult situation was? These little data points are critical for starting to understand your interpersonal interactions with the world around you. Because I bet that there's some pretty big differences in the interaction that went well and didn't. Well, that's obvious, right? What about the interaction that didn't go so well with the person you really, really like? And the interaction with the person that you don't really like that didn't go very well? You see, we bring preconceived notions into every moment. And until we really start to learn about ourselves and how our brain and our body shows up in these interactions, we're operating in the blind. And real, true, thrive state living, resilience, is about understanding how our past is showing up in the present so that we can create our future. We'll continue to unpack these nuances as we start this new series, digging into relationships and really getting clear on who are we in relationship with others. I look forward to seeing you soon.